Hi, welcome to another edition of the Alan Rosenberg Show. It's time for another ranking video. This one, a little bit different. So I've done many ranking videos. Please check them out. There's a whole playlist of ranking videos, and I've done favorite debut albums, favorite albums of all time, favorite live albums, favorite double albums. There's a bunch of them there. Favorite long songs. I just did Southern rock epic songs. So some cool ranking videos. This one's kind of tough, but not that tough for me. So as you probably know, if you're not new to my channel, I got over 5,000 albums, which means I must have, I don't know, 60, 70, 80,000 songs, all in my archives down there. Nothing streamed, it's all physical media. And what I'm doing right now is my 20 favorite songs of all time. Now, yeah, it's kind of a ridiculous ranking, because how do you take 60-something thousand songs and filter it down to 20 of my favorites? But I'll tell you how I did it. These are songs that are ingrained in me. They give me chills. I will never get tired of hearing them. I could be anywhere at any time, and if I hear these songs, it'll stop me in my track. I just think they're incredible songs. And here's the ironic part. Very few of them you'll ever hear on the radio. So I guarantee you that if you listen to these songs, you're going to love them. Now, some of them, obviously, you're going to know. Now, they're not going to be in any kind of order. I'll save the top two for last. But other than that, they're like, they're just the greatest songs of all time for me. They show up all the time. If you're in my house and I put mixtapes together, I do that. I used to do music on like family videos from old 8mm films, and I'd throw music onto them. More often than not, a lot of these songs used to appear in them. So if you're friends of mine or family, you know these songs because you hear them over and over again, and they sink in. And I could tell you, my family and friends who've heard these songs, they sink in. They're like, wow, these are amazing songs. So enough yapping. Let's start. Here's an obvious one. We start at the beginning of the alphabet, I guess, to a certain extent. And the Beatles, this is the Red Album. Of course, it comes from Rubber Soul. And the song that I'm thinking about is In My Life. Beatles obviously have so many great songs. But In My Life, to me, is super special. I love everything about it. John Lennon's vocals are great. The lyrics are great. And Ringo's drum part is just so tasty. It's just a great song. I used to throw this on videos, obviously, In My Life. Fantastic track, and definitely my favorite Beatles track, I would assume. If we start, also continue lower in the alphabet, you're going to be like, what the hell is this? Well, Blackmore's Night is Ritchie Blackmore, and he became his wife Candace Knight, and Ritchie Blackmore, of course, from Deep Purple and Rainbow. This is their first album, Shadow of the Night. This is one of my favorite debut albums of all time. I still play it. It sounds like nothing else you've ever heard, but there's a song on it. It's track number 15, and it's called Wish You Were Here. They redid it on one of their recent albums, but go to the original. And this song is so incredible. It never leaves my playlist to this day since I've heard this album. I throw it in on all of my mixtapes, and it stops people in their tracks. People are like, what the hell is that? That is unbelievable. Ends with a beautiful Ritchie Blackmore lead solo as it fades away. It's an incredible track. It is not the Pink Floyd song Wish You Were Here from Blackmore's Night. Again, these are 20, not in any particular order. I'm a huge fan of Dire Straits. I did a video on Dire Straits ranking their albums. I'll never forget when I first heard their first album, Sultans of Swing. And Sultans of Swing probably should be in here because it's just another song that I never tire of. And eventually I'll do a ranking of best guitar solos, and that would be way the hell up there. But for me personally, I always go to the opening track on their third album, Making Movies, which is called Tunnel of Love. It's an extended track. Even my wife has grown to love it. It opens up with a carousel waltz, and it's an extended track. Girl, you look so pretty to me. Amazing guitar work from Mark Knopfler. There's beautiful piano runs in there, and it rocks, and it slows, and it rocks. It's kind of progressive. It's an incredible track. And that's my go-to Dire Straits track for sure. Tunnel of Love from Making Movies. The Kinks, one of my favorite bands. I have videos on them. Waterloo Sunset is a song that I also could be up there. But for me personally, the track that I fall in love with all the time, and it's actually the very first Kinks album I ever bought, which is Everybody's in Showbiz. They put out another deluxe edition of this album. But the title track, which is really Celluloid Heroes, is just an incredible song. I love the story of it. I love the music of it. The live version on the One for the Road is an excellent version as well. Celluloid Heroes from the Kinks, way up there for me as well. This is surprising, but there's something about this track. Robert Plant, and when he did his first album, his first solo record, and I heard that, I was like, wow, that's really good, and I really liked it. And I was like, you know what? Good for him that he's going solo in the end of Led Zeppelin, and I have so much respect for him as an artist. But his second solo record, Principle of Moments, was really great. It got a little bit dated with the 80s sound, but it's a tremendous, tremendous album. And I remember hearing the song Big Log. It stopped me in my tracks. Nothing else sounded like it. Amazing guitar lick. It's such a cool track. This is a box set of all his solo records up until that time. So there's the Principle of Moments. And Big Log. It's all this guitar lick that's melodic, and it just sticks to you, and it just sticks in your brain. His vocal is phenomenal. The music is great. Big Log from Principle of Moments, Robert Plant. Way the hell up there for me. Another amazing classic song, of course, Joni Mitchell. I used to put this in a lot of my videos with the family, and that's The Circle Game. It's just, lyrically, is just amazing, beautiful, delicate, timeless classic, The Circle Game, Joni Mitchell. A song that you may not know, another song that I throw in all these videos that I used to do, and everybody loves this song. They're like, what is that? It's just it just gets to you. And that's the Alan Parsons project. It originally came from an album called Vulture Culture. But you'll see it on some of the best of albums. And it's a song called Days of Numbers, The Traveler. Traveler is always leaving home. Beautiful music. It just sticks in your brain. It's an incredible song. And it's a go-to track for me as well. Alan Parsons project, Days of Numbers. Another song that it gets me emotional. It's just an amazingly beautiful, powerful track. Another song that I put on, and people are like, oh, I forgot how great this song is. Carly Simon, the title track, Coming Around Again. An incredible, incredible song. The opening track of that album. Love that song to death. Another powerful song that you put on and people are like, oh, God, I forgot how great this song is. And it's a really powerful song. The Hollies. And He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother. Just a magnificent, mini epic, incredibly powerful track from the Hollies. He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother. Another song that I can't explain, but it just gets me emotional. I remember seeing the movie, and it's just like when you have a role model or a mentor, and you owe that person so much. And, if you could relate to that, then this song will totally choke you up. And this is a 60s classic. This is on a compilation, The British Invasion Gold. But you're talking about To Sir With Love from Lulu. The music is amazing. Those sunny. Her vocals are fantastic. It's so powerful. It just sticks to you and gets me really emotional when I hear it. To Sir With Love from Lulu. Another song, as I drop some CDs. This is a song that you're not going to know. I only probably started hearing it about 15 years ago, and I'm a really big fan of an artist called Carla Olson. Now, Carla Olson became good friends with Gene Clark, who was the singer of the Byrds. And, of course, his career was in the toilet. He did some great solo records that were stiffs, and he had some issues, and she got really buddy with Gene Clark. Did an amazing album called "So Rebellious the Lover," but this is a compilation called "Back in Time" from the Textones, and this is stuff that was never really released. And right there is a track called "Jokers Are Wild." The first time you hear it, you're going to be like, "Yeah, that's a really good song," but it's nothing special. But it is, and there's something about it that just grabs me. Everybody in my family, I could put that on, and it'll stop them in their tracks. The first time you hear it, you'll be like, yeah, that's good, nothing special. The second time you hear it, oh, that's really good. And it'll just grow on you, and it's just catchy as hell, and it's actually a demo to get him a record contract, which didn't happen. So Jokers Are Wild, one of my favorite songs of all time by anybody, is a demo of Gene Clark backed with Carla Olson and the Textones. And it's an incredibly great song that it's got that kind of, you need to hear it. It's just awesome. It'll grow on you for sure. I recently did a thing about Christine McVie, memorial for her. And I was saying that I feel it's a lost track. And yeah, it was released on this Fleetwood Mac Greatest Hits album. But I don't think anybody really picked up on it because of all the greatest hits. It's grown to become my favorite Fleetwood Mac song, and it's a Christine McVie song. Again, originally on this album, and then they put it on the very best of as well. And it's a song called As Long As You Follow. Lindsey Buckingham's not on it. Rick Vito did a beautiful guitar lick. It's a incredibly memorable guitar lick. It's just a fantastic song. Anytime, any place that song come on, I'll stop me in my tracks and I'll be like, I melt like butter. As Long As You Follow from Fleetwood Mac. Let's keep going. Couple of real big classics. Let's go with this one. When a song is so incredible, it could be done so many different ways, and it'll always be great. And this song I'm talking about now is maybe the best example of that. Here's the version from Graham Parsons. It was on the Grievous Angel album. His duet with Emmylou Harris. We're talking about the classic Love Hurts. It's an incredible, timeless classic. I don't know how many hundreds of covers there are. I have never heard a cover that doesn't work. I mean, even Nazareth does an incredible... In fact, Nazareth's version was the first version I ever heard growing up, and that's like a rock and hard rock version of it, and it's extraordinary. There are so many amazing versions of this song, delicate or rocking, the Everly Brothers, but my favorite is the Graham Parsons, Emmylou Harris version, Love Hurts. Without a doubt, one of the most timeless, greatest songs of all time. As is this one. What can you say about Procol Harum and A Whiter Shade of Pale? Some of the most powerful music, haunting music. Lyrics are great. I have no idea what the hell the song is about. The lyrics, I can't figure it out. Doesn't matter. It's just so, like Love Hurts, it's just a perfect song. Anytime that song comes on and you hear the keyboard opening and the lyrics, strip the light fandango. I mean, it's just incredible. Beyond incredible. Perfect. White Shade of Pale from Procol Harum. Not quite as good, but way up there. For me, anyway. From the classic Days of Future Past album from the Moody Blues is Nights in White Satin. Another song that's haunting, catchy, kind of like a Whiter Shade of Pale, not quite as good. But Nights in White Satin, never reaching the end. The music is amazing with the Mellotron. Just incredible. Perfect track from the Moody Blues from an amazing, amazing album. Couple of show tunes. There are two show tunes that I thought of instantly that I could hear anytime, and they actually get me really emotional. My family has seen me break down sometimes if I'm in the mood. West Side Story, lots of different versions of it. The film, the original Broadway show, cast version, but the song, of course, is Somewhere. Barbra Streisand did a version of it on an album of hers. I've never been a big Barbra Streisand fan. I just think she gets too schmaltzy. And I think her version of it is a bit schmaltzy. But Somewhere is just one of the most powerful, amazing, haunting songs. Somewhere there's a place for us. I mean, I can break down now. Unbelievable. And in the same way, and kind of like Love Hurts, another song that's got endless covers. One of my favorite musicals from the day was Man of La Mancha, and here's the original Broadway cast version with Richard Kiley singing it, and then lots of versions of it. Placido Domingo does a version of it. Here's the new Broadway cast version of it with Brian Stokes Mitchell. Problem with Man of La Mancha is the music and the songs are so incredible, but they get a little Broadway-ish sometimes and a little too operatic, which is why sometimes you need a cover version of it. And Josh Groban does an amazing version of the song I'm talking about, and that is the classic The Impossible Dream. To dream the impossible dream. Just unbelievable. Unbelievable, timeless, powerful song. You know who does an incredible version of it as well is Glenn Campbell. I should have showed those. But The Impossible Dream from Man of La Mancha. Check out Josh Groban's version on an album that came out, Harmony, called 2 years ago. Great version of it I have. And Glenn Campbell as well. Unbelievable, timeless track that makes me break down sometimes as well. We're winding it down. 3 more. One of them, back in the day, somebody would say, "What's your favorite song of all time?" And I used to say, "Give Me Shelter." And Give Me Shelter was, I thought, the greatest rock song of all time. Problem with Give Me Shelter is when I used to say that, Give Me Shelter was relatively unknown. It was an album track. It was the opening track of Let It Bleed. Then Martin Scorsese shown it in every movie, and the Stones really started performing it live all the time, especially with Lisa Fischer. And it's still like maybe the greatest rock song of all time, but got a little played out for me. The go-to song for me for the Rolling Stones is from their 1974 album, It's Only Rock and Roll. And it's the last song on side 1. This is a cool CD version of it. And we're talking about the epic 6 minutes plus of Time Waits for No One. I never get tired of hearing it. My family has grown to think it's the greatest thing of all time. What can you say? Mick Taylor, the most gorgeous, lyrical guitar player the band's ever had, and certainly in the history of rock and roll, he's way up there. Just unbelievable song. Mick Jagger's vocals are tremendous. The production by Mick and Keith, the Glimmer Twins, is amazing. It's never been performed live, and I'm kind of glad because Ronnie Wood could never do it justice. Time Waits for No One from the Rolling Stones. You know, way up there. Number 3, number 2. As is this one from Bruce Springsteen. Certainly my go-to Springsteen song. I think it's a masterpiece on the Lucky Town album. And that's his beautiful song, If I Should Fall Behind. I just think it's an insanely great song. Absolutely great. Bruce Springsteen from Lucky Town, If I Should Fall Behind. What would be my number 1? Yeah, I think when people ask me, what do you think is the greatest song of all time? If it ain't Give Me Shelter, it's this one. And it's from Achtung Baby from U2, their song 1. I think it's perfect. It's an absolute masterpiece in every way. I've heard it a million times, and I never get tired of hearing it. I throw it on to this day. It just is from an incredible album, by the way. Oof, such a great band. But 1, yeah, it's just a miracle of songwriting and production from U2. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. There it is, 20 of the greatest songs of all time, according to me. And of course, this is a ridiculous thing. It's all personal taste. And the whole point of it is if you don't know some of these songs, please check them out. Will you think they're the greatest songs of all time? Probably not. But I can guarantee you're going to love them. And maybe over time, they may become the greatest songs of all time for you as well. That's the point of it. Let me know what you think. Let me know some of your greatest hits, greatest songs of all time. But don't send me Freebird and Stairway to Heaven. Too obvious. Not those are not great songs, but these are personal songs. The songs that get you emotional, that make the hairs on your body stand up when they come on, that send you back to that place that no matter what's going on in your life, that you just feel good hearing it. That's what the greatest songs of all time is all about. Thanks for tuning in. Please check out my other videos. Please hit subscribe and like and help my channel to grow. Would greatly appreciate it. And most importantly, stay safe, stay healthy. I'll try to do one more video before the new year. And I hope I see you then. Have a good one.